out there, it is Wednesday. Not the best comic book day, but there are a couple that I enjoyed. First, I read Star Wars DJ Most Wanted. This issue is about the character of DJ that showed up in The Last Jedi. It's just a one-off story having to do with how he got put in jail. It's nothing that spectacular. I mean, it is kind of sort of interesting, but nothing all that out there. The Incredible Hulk issue number 712. The Totally Awesome Hulk versus the Unworthy Thor. Amadeus Cho is on the planet Sakaar, and he's pitted up against the Odinson, also known as Thor, the Unworthy Thor. It's a pretty cool fight between the two of them, and they do have a clear winner, and I was impressed with this fight. Otherwise, though, I'm not really that into this story. I mean, it's not the worst one out there. Detective Comics Annual issue number 1. This is a really sad story. It's retelling the origin of Clayface, or at least the current version of Clayface, which happens to be Basil Karlo. It gives more depth to his character, but still, it is so incredibly depressing. The Flash Annual issue number 1, Prelude to the Flash War. Now, this was a pretty good story. Wally West is starting to weigh his options and look at his life, being that he just recently came out of the Speed Force, and he's realizing there is a lot of things missing in it. What's great about this is at the very beginning, we get a kind of sort of glimpse that maybe Bart Allen may be brought into this story, and an old Wally West villain is being brought in, one of my particular favorites. Really hope this is going to give some answers as to some certain characters that have been missing, although I have a feeling we're probably only going to be getting some glimpses here and there. Phoenix Resurrection issue number 5. This is the conclusion to this miniseries. Long story short, the Phoenix Force created this bubble thing that happens to be some sort of limbo. Her and the Phoenix come to terms with each other, and then bam, bada bing, Jean Grey has returned. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen anyway, so it's not like that's a big surprise. Although I will say that there's a new take on the Phoenix costume being shown in this issue, and I can see so many cosplayers out there that want to try to redo it. Which brings me to the final comic book that I read this week, which happens to be Jean Grey issue number 11, which happens to also be the final issue to the series. This ties into the Phoenix Resurrection storyline because previously the younger Jean Grey had apparently been destroyed by the Phoenix Force. But we all know that no one really dies in comic books, especially with the Phoenix Force involved. I think this is a great conclusion to the Jean Grey series, and it also opens it up for some future stories where it looks like her and her teammates may be going off into space doing some other adventures. But that's for other adventures to come later on down the line. But that's my comic load for this week. Not very many, but still there was a couple that was memorable. What did you guys read? Leave comments down below and let me know. But that is it for now. Thank you guys for watching me in this video. If you haven't done it yet, check out my Patreon site, check out my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
One who will always win is a prominent.
In the Flash Annual, there is a mention that Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, did one good thing, and he locked someone up, and I'm curious as to who that was. For all we know, that could be a mention to Bart Allen. Maybe, I don't know. I'm hoping, or at least keeping my fingers crossed. They left it very ambiguous as to what it was.